Hello everyone. So today you guys are going to go ahead and do notes on section 1.2, points, lines, and planes. So this is all about vocabulary. One of the most important parts about this section is getting down how to draw everything correctly and how to write the notation. So that's how you would name it by, and that's supposed to be named, not names. Named. Okay, so a point. I went ahead and I filled in the definitions for you. So a point is location. It has no size or shape. A point is exactly what you think it is. So point A is what you'll see it as. And the notation, so that's meaning like if you were reading a sentence, how would you see it? You would write point A. Then we have a line. So a line is made up of points and has no thickness or width, and a line extends in both directions without end. Since it does not end in any direction, it has arrows on both sides, which is very important. A line also must have 2 points, so A and B. You can go ahead then, the notation for a line would be AB, and you would put a bar on top with arrows and going in both directions, or you can write it as BA, likewise with arrows. Another way to do it is, let's say there was a cursive L there. I swear that's an L. So then you can also name it as line L. Then we have here a plane, and no, it is not the plane that you see in the sky. So a plane is a flat surface, so think of your desk. So it's a flat surface, but it's going to extend on indefinitely in all directions. There must be 3 non-collinear points. Non-collinear, think of the word non-collinear. Linear means in a straight line. If it's non, that means they are not in a straight line. So when we draw a plane, I suggest drawing it kind of like it's on an angle. So like a parallelogram. Then I'm going to draw 3 points. These 3 points I'm just going to randomly plot. I'm just going to make sure they're not in a straight line. Then we have R, S, T. When you name a plane, you're going to put P-L-A-N-E. So we have a plane, R, S, T. You can also write it as plane, S-T-R, or T-R-S. You can write it in any order of the letters. Another way to do it is just like with the line. If you have a cursive lowercase letter, you can write plane. Whoa, that is not a good M. A plane with the cursive M. Alrighty, and then we have array. Array is a type of line. However, a line has an end point, and then it also extends without end on one of the sides. So you're going to have the point, and then it's going to continue on one side. Now, remember, it's still a type of line, so there must be 2 points. So we'll have A and B. Now, the most important thing about array is when you're writing the notation, it must always, the arrow will always go towards the right, but you cannot write it as BA with the arrow going in this way. You are then telling me that B is where the end point is, and B is not where the end point is. B is over here. So you cannot write it in that order. A line segment, so it's a line that has a definite end, so 2 endpoints. Okay, and at any time you need to pause the video to take some time to fill out your notes, please pause the video. Okay, so then a segment is just going to be, you're going to draw a line here, but instead of arrows on the ends, you're going to put endpoints. And then I have to label those, so I'm going to put RS. When I'm labeling these points, I'm just picking random letters. So don't think I'm picking them for a specific reason. I just like to write these letters. Okay, so then when you're writing out a line segment in the notation, you would write RS with just a bar, nothing else on it. You can put the points if you want to, but you don't really need to. I never do, but it's your choice. And then you have SR. Okay. Then we have here collinear. So we already kind of talked about it. So points that lie on the same line. So an example, I have a line and I have multiple points A, B, let's say we'll have C and then D. And then I would also be able to then label this in so many different combinations. I could do a line AD. I could do line BC. And the list goes on. There's many combinations to do that. Then non-collinear is points that do not lay on the same line. So if I say, let's say I have the line RT. So let's say I have the line RT, and I have this point over here, M. Are the points R and M collinear? No, they are not on the same line. M is off to the side. Okay, so that's what that's saying. Coplanar, so points that lie on the same plane. When you have here a plane and you have points, they must be on inside of it. So R, S, T. Non-coplanar, let's say we have the plane R, Q, P, let's say, and I have a point over here, K. K is not going to be on the plane. So if I say, is there such thing here, or is the name of the plane RPK? Well, no, K is all the way over here. It's not on the plane, so that would be non-coplanar. Okay, so a couple examples, and then I'm going to let you guys go ahead and work on your homework. So use the figure on the right to name the examples of each term. So if it helps, give yourself, don't even look at the picture yet, just look at the word. So array, you know it's going to be letters with the arrow. The line, you know you're going to have 2 arrows on each end. The segment is just the bar, and a point, you literally are just going to write point something. Okay, so taking a look, we need array. There are so many different combinations you can do here. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go there, right? There's a point, and then it goes to another point that has an arrow. So let's say QS. I can also say QT. I can also say QR. Right, and so the list goes on, and I can keep going. I could do QV and QU. You just cannot do any of the order. A line, so the line must have arrows on both ends. So now if I go ahead and look over here, I cannot say that RQT is a line. That clearly is an angle. It is not a line. So here I have 2 options. We could use, actually, we have this guy here that I'll use. So then taking a look, I'm going to write with the arrows R, Q, or you can write R, U, and you can also flip-flop the order of the letters. Then we have here just naming a point. You can name all of the points if you wanted to. I'll just name point U. And then a line segment. Honestly, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line segments. So we have SQ, we have RQ, we have TQ, we have Q. Actually, there is way more than 5. Not way more than 5, but there's more than 5. And then there's QV and QU, which my V's and U's will look the same, so I'm just going to write it once. And then we can even do RU. The only difference is now we just don't have the arrow above. Okay, next example, it says, in the diagram at the right represents a baseball field. Name the segment or ray described. A player on third base throws the ball, and the player on first base catches it. Okay, so this is home, first, second, third. So first, second, third, and this is home. Okay, so the third player throws it to first base. So if they throw it, the third to first base, assuming that they are directly on the plate, we are going to have segment Okay, so it's going to be a segment, and it will be segment TF. Okay, next, the batter hits the ball overhead of the player on first base. So here is the batter, right? So you hitting over here, oops. And then the player hits it way past first base, so we are going to have a ray. And so that will be HF. Alrighty. Then we have here the player on first base throws the ball home, but the catcher misses it. So this is going in the opposite direction. So the first baseman is throwing the ball to home, but he misses it. So then we're going to have Ray FH. All right, so I'm hoping that we are understanding. Oh, actually, let me do this last question. Are third base, first base, and the pitcher's mound collinear? So third base, first base. So third base, first base, and home base. Are those collinear? No, right? They kind of make up a triangle. All right. So that is it with the notes. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me.